2017.
We're here at the Adventure Aquarium, a place for all kinds of family fun.
Take a look. We're standing right in front of their massive shark tank.
It's amazing to see them up close. And our graduating seniors also got a chance to see some big events over this last year.
I'd say they saw a new president inaugurated.
Some increased tensions here and abroad.
So we asked our students what they think of their world today.
I think it's a very polarized time.
He described the Russia investigation as a cloud.
It sort of seems like the world is turning into a giant pressure cooker.
We should try to be more unified as a country.
We asked this year's best of the class their views on some of the major issues facing the world today. Everybody's talking about national politics. Do you have a side in this?
I'd like to see both sides of the argument.
During this past election, a lot of people have become a lot more vocal during this time.
I think we put a lot of emphasis on knocking people down versus trying to look for a better solution.
There's a lot of things going on with like the credibility of news organizations.
I wouldn't say that we're heading in the right or wrong direction right now. Certainly there's a lot of things that haven't been handled correctly.
But these students still believe in the resiliency of our society.
I definitely believe in the power of America and the power of our system to prevent any one person or group from becoming too powerful.
I know that through our democracy, everyone's viewpoints will be upheld and that there's going to be a fair market.
They also gave their opinion on global affairs.
A lot of areas in the world are sort of in crisis right now.
The United States is getting involved in so many different places and it just needs to control and come back home.
My family's from the UK, so Brexit happened, and I feel as though it's raising questions about what it means to be a citizen of a country, a citizen of the world.
Healthcare is a top priority for most, with many going on to study medicine.
There are certain things that even those of us who are struggling economically, and those of us who are not, we all deserve certain fundamental healthcare rights.
On the heels of America departing the Paris Agreement, climate change is on the forefront. Do you follow the science?
So much of the evidence just points to climate change and the detrimental effects that it's going to have.
Pushing government influence in the environment is always a difficult task when you're people with conflicting views.
I'm optimistic about it because as a lot of us grow older and take on leadership positions, we can possibly make the policy changes that we need.
And they have many concerns over today's job market.
I think as described by the shark tank behind me, I could be in trouble come the next 4 to 8 years depending on what the administration dictates with its budgeting.
Some obstacles in the road, but the journey is filled with opportunity for these bright young minds.
Coding's the future. There are going to be so many jobs we haven't even heard about yet.
Social media and technology keeps these students connected to the news of the day now more than ever.
And it will most likely be these smart young people here today making news in the future by creating solutions to solve some of the biggest issues facing our world.
What comes to mind, first of all, as something that you find that you would like to change in this world?
Probably the employment in the African American community.
What do you think you might be able to do to help make a change in that?
Probably become a nurse practitioner and then open my own practice where I'll be able to get many employees in the African American community.
Their concerns spread far and wide, and this year's best of the class are passionate to find the answers.
We see that in this country, we have mass incarceration. We would have to structure the way we're making our policy. If it's a minor drug offense, okay, well then maybe you can just get a fine instead of going to prison. But these men and women who, after they're released from prison, many of them can't find jobs. If you need training, we'll give you that training because you're going to affect their economy in a positive way. That's probably the best way, in my opinion, to limit prison sentences. My main field that I want to go into is clean energy sources. I've already done research on something called a microbial fuel cell, and when it heats, like if you get the bacteria food and it like starts to heat, it produces electrons, which is electricity. So it's a clean source of energy, low cost. Maybe I could incorporate it some way into like large cities.
Right now, a major issue is concussion. My sister actually had 4 concussions within 3 years, and I want to study chemical engineering. So hopefully with the non-traditional route of chemical engineering, I can bring a new perspective.
For some students, identifying the problem is easy, but solving it requires a little more effort from everyone.
I think one of the most prevalent issues in our society right now is improving race relations. There's people in communities who have never seen a person of color. We should have more community events where people come together and at least engage in activities to have a better understanding.
And it's no surprise these valedictorians are already implementing their own solutions.
Right now, one of the most favorite issues is the lack of representation of women in STEM. I myself run an outreach program at my school, getting them in touch with local STEM professionals so they can see what a career in STEM really entails.
The most major issue in society right now is self-confidence in young children and teens and early teens. I think the solution to that is stop telling kids they're not good enough. I actually published a children's book about diversity and self-acceptance and being yourself.
We just gotta be kinder to each other, even in the small stuff like saying, hey, I like your shoes. It's called the butterfly effect. Whatever you do, however small it is, it changes a person's life.
I'd say the future, it is bright with these top students leading the way.
Couldn't agree more. Coming up, we'll hear some expert advice on professional development for young people.
Let's talk about what your brand is and how to best manage time. She'll be coming to you the Tri-State Anything.
With Best of the Class 2017 comes right back.